Welcome to Healing ADHD Marriages. I'm Dr. Stacy Brown. Today we're going to be talking about something that can seem simple, but can have a profound impact on the health of a marriage. Attention. Have you ever been talking to your spouse and realized they were looking at their phone, or they were watching TV, answering an email, or mentally somewhere else? Maybe they were nodding their head, but you could tell they were not really hearing you. Or perhaps you're the one who struggles to stay focused. You may genuinely love your spouse, but your mind moves quickly. You may become distracted by responsibilities, work, children, unfinished tasks, and notifications coming through your phone, things you're worried about, or the many things that are competing for your attention. In an ADHD-affected marriage, attention struggles can be especially painful because they are often misunderstood. The spouse who is distracted may not be trying to communicate, "You do not matter," but the spouse who is repeatedly not heard may begin to feel exactly that. They may feel unseen, unheard. They may feel unimportant. They may feel as if everyone and everything else receives the best of their spouse, while they receive only what is left over. This is why attention matters so much in marriage. Attention is not merely a communication skill. Attention is one of the ways we communicate love. When you turn toward your spouse, make eye contact, listen carefully, and show interest in what they are saying, you are communicating something very powerful. You matter to me. Your thoughts matter. Your feelings matter. Your life matters to me. The first chapter of Marital ADHD describes attention problems in marriage as more than simply failing to hear a conversation. It is the gradual shift of focus away from the marriage and toward everything else that seems urgent, entertaining, or demanding. Over time, a spouse may receive whatever attention is left after work, technology, hobbies, children, and daily responsibilities. They've all taken their share. That pattern can quietly damage connection. The good news is that attention can be rebuilt. It is both a gift and a discipline. Let's talk about what that means. First, attention does not mean you must be perfect. No one can give undivided attention every moment of every day. You may have a demanding job. You may be caring for children. You may be exhausted. You may live with ADHD, anxiety, depression, chronic stress, or other challenges that affect focus. This message is not meant to create shame. It is meant to create awareness and to offer hope. The goal is not perfection. The goal is intentionality. Intentionality means recognizing that your spouse deserves more than accidental attention. Your spouse deserves moments when you deliberately choose to be present. You may not be able to give an hour every evening, but you may be able to give 10 focused minutes. You may not remember every detail that your spouse shares, but you can pause, look at them, and ask a question that shows you care. You may not be able to eliminate every distraction, but you can create a few protected moments where distractions are put away. Those small choices matter. Second, attention means listening for more than words. Many spouses say, "I told my husband," I told my wife. But the deeper question is, did they feel heard? Listening is more than receiving information. It is noticing tone of voice, facial expressions, body language, pauses, and emotions. Sometimes your spouse may say, "I'm fine," but their voice tells you they are overwhelmed. Sometimes they may talk about a problem at work, but beneath the details, they may be saying, "I feel discouraged. I feel afraid," or "I need support." Focused attention helps you notice what may not be spoken directly. You can begin to ask gentle questions such as, "You seem a little quieter today. Is something weighing on you? How did that meeting go that you were worried about? You mentioned that you were stressed about your family. How are you feeling about that now? What would feel supportive to you tonight?" These questions do not require a perfect memory or a perfect marriage. They simply communicate interest. Third, attention requires us to identify the distractions that compete for our marriage. For some people, the biggest distraction is a phone. For others, it may be work, television, gaming, social media, household responsibilities, children, hobbies, exhaustion, or the habit of constantly thinking about what needs to happen next. Some distractions are not bad in themselves. Work is important. Children need care. Rest is necessary. Technology is useful. The problem comes when these things consistently receive our best attention while our spouse receives our leftovers. A helpful question to ask yourself is this: what most often pulls my attention away from my spouse? Be honest. Is it your phone? Is it worry? Is it your to-do list? Is it the habit of correcting or problem solving before you listen? Is it emotional avoidance because conversations feel difficult? Once you identify the pattern, you can begin to make a different choice. Here is a simple practice you can begin today. Choose one time each day when you will give your spouse 10 minutes of focused attention. It could be after dinner, or it could be before bed. It could be on a walk together. It could be while sitting together with coffee in the morning. During those 10 minutes, put away your phone, turn off the television, and do not multitask, do not scroll, do not check email. Ask one question. What has been on your heart today? Then listen. You do not have to fix anything. You do not have to agree with everything. You do not have to come up with a perfect response. Your first job is simply to be present. If your mind wanders, gently bring it back. If you are the spouse with ADHD, you may find it helpful to set a timer for 10 minutes, or you may also find it helpful to hold something in your hands, such as a pen or a small object, if that helps you stay focused without becoming distracted. You can write down one or two key things your spouse says so that you can remember them later. This is not cheating, it is caring. Using tools to support attention is an act of love. Now I want to speak to the spouse who has felt unseen. If you have repeatedly tried to talk and felt ignored, dismissed, interrupted, or forgotten, you may be carrying real hurt. You may have stopped sharing because it feels safer not to expect to be heard. Your pain matters. At the same time, healing often begins when we learn to describe our needs clearly rather than only expressing our frustration. Instead of saying, "You never listen to me," you might try saying, "I need 10 minutes of your full attention tonight. Can we put our phones away and talk?" Or, "When you look at your phone while I'm sharing something important, I feel unimportant. Could you turn toward me and listen for a few minutes?" Clear requests give your spouse something specific to respond to. This does not mean every spouse will respond perfectly, but it creates an opportunity for a new pattern. Attention also affects intimacy. It is difficult to feel emotionally close to someone who does not seem to know what is happening in your life. It is difficult to feel cherished when you are constantly competing with distractions. But when a spouse begins to pay attention, something begins to change. You feel known. You feel valued. You feel safer sharing what is real. Communication improves because misunderstandings decrease. Conflict can become less intense because both people feel heard. And emotional intimacy begins to grow. The Bible gives us a beautiful picture of God's attention in His love to us. God is not distant from the details of our life. He sees, He knows, and He cares. As husbands and wives, we are not God, and we never will be able to love perfectly, but we can reflect His care by choosing to be present with one another. So here is your action step for this week. Choose one 10-minute time each day for focused attention and connection. Protect it. Put away distractions and ask, what has been on your heart today? Listen without interrupting. Then, before you end, say one sentence that shows you heard them. You might say, "It sounds like today was really heavy for you. I can see why that mattered to you. I'm glad you told me. I want to remember that this week." Small, consistent moments of attention can become the foundation for deeper healing. If this video encouraged you, subscribe to Marital ADHD, Healing ADHD Marriages. Here we talk about practical tools, biblical encouragement, and real hope for couples who want to reconnect. And remember, your spouse does not need your perfection. They need your willingness to turn toward them, listen, and show they matter.